Okay, guys, on radical equations. The first one, we're just going to go and jump into examples, and then I'll show you. You'll pick up pretty quickly on most of these. So first one, a radical equation. We're going to have a radical, and then we're going to be solving for x. So you'll have a radical, and we're going to solve for x. So I want to get rid of this square root. How do I get rid of a square root? You square it. So if I square this side, I have to square this side. So on the left, when I square a square root, it goes away. So now I get 3x plus 4 equals what? 25. Solve for x. So subtract the 4. 3x equals what? 21. Divide by 3. X equals 7. Now, you have no choice, but you have to check your answers here. Okay, so over here I'm going to put a little check mark, and let's just plug back in 7. Because you will get no solution on some of these. Or you'll get 2 answers, and one will work and one doesn't. So if we put 7 back in here, we want to see if that equals 5. Remember, you don't have a calculator, so carefully check your work. 21 plus 4 is 25. Does that work? Yes, it does. Okay, make sure you check your answers here. Okay, number 2. Hey guys, I'm recording, so everything you're saying back there is picking up your voice and not mine.
Okay.
Okay, number 2, cube root. Now nothing changed with a cube root, but instead of us squaring it, what do we have to do? Cube it. Now before I cube the left side, I need to get the radical by itself. Okay, so you can't cube or square something unless the radical is by itself on one side. So I'm going to isolate the radical. So how would I get this by itself? Yeah, just add 2 over. So cube root 2x minus 4 equals 2. Just move the 2 over. How do I get rid of the radical? Cube it, right? If this is a 3, I'm going to cube the left side, and I'm going to cube the right side. So 2x minus 4 equals what? 8. Solve for x. So really, once you get to the solving part, it's not horrible until we get to the ones where we'll have to factor. So add over 4. What is that, 12? Divide by 2, x equals 6. And then check it. So I just usually come up to the side and I plug it back in. So that becomes 12 minus 4 is 8, minus 2. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. And that's all you have to do. You don't have to show me every single step possible here. Unless you need to write it all out, that's fine.
Could you check it like when we move the 2 over to the other side? Could you check it like that?
You can. I always try to be careful because potentially if you were getting more stuff happening, you added stuff over and divided. You don't want to, if you messed up somewhere, then I always go back to the original. Okay, number 3. Square root of 5 minus x minus 4 equals 6. So what would you do first? Good. Add the 4 over first. So we get 10. So I have the radical by itself. How do I get rid of that radical? Square it. Square both sides. So 5 minus x equals 100. Subtract the 5 over. So negative x equals 95. root of 100 is 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. So that works. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I turn the page? Okay. Number, what am I looking for? Number 4. Okay, what would you do first to get the radical by itself?
Subtract 1.
Yeah, subtract the 1 first. That becomes 14. And then what would you do?
Divide by 2.
Perfect. Divide by 2. So go ahead and solve for x and then check your answer. Guys, if I'm going too fast, because I have a lot of different examples I want to get through, so if I go too fast, just go back and watch this video. And slow it down as much as you need to, or pause it. What'd you get for x? 15?
I got 16.
15. Oh, sorry, guys. No worries. Okay, so then check it. 2 square root 3, 15. So that becomes 45 plus 4, 49. Square root of 49 is 7. 14 plus 1 is 15, so that works. Okay, number 5. Square root of 2x plus 3 minus 4 equals negative 5. So first you would add over 4. So square root 2x plus 3 equals negative 1. My radical is isolated, so I'm going to go ahead and square it. So 2x plus 3 equals, what's negative 1 squared?
1.
Positive 1, good. Solve for x. Did you get negative 1? And plug it back in. Did it work?
No.
No. I got negative 3, not equal negative 5. So no solution. Okay, did anyone see right at the beginning when we started it where it was no solution?
Equal to negative 1.
Yes, a square root cannot equal a negative number. That's like that one on the quiz, square root of negative 25. So if you got to this point and you're like, oh, square root can equal to negative, no solution. Perfect. If not, it doesn't matter. Look, solve it, check it, you're going to get the same answer. So if you have a square root or a fourth root, it can't equal a
So
negative.
anytime you're isolated, it equals a negative, it's automatically no solution.
Yes, if it's a square root. Cube roots can equal negatives.
Alright.
So that's what's tricky. But it's okay, because if you don't see it here, you can still work it out, check it, and it's no solution. Good? Okay, number 6. Quite a few. Okay, number 6. Well, okay, number 6. Look at number 6. Is the radical by itself? Yes. So because it's by itself, I'm going to go ahead and square it. So on the left, I get x minus 1. What do I get on the right? Yes, the thing we did in the warm-up. Good.
Plus 49.
Good. What I don't want to see is this. Oh, x squared plus 49. No. You can't just square this and square this. This is what we did in the warm-up. Because remember, or you can do this. Write it out if you need to write it out. It's fine. And FOIL it. Square the first, put the two together and double it, and then square the second. Okay, what would you do next? Any ideas? I hear add the 1. Sounds good. I'm gonna go ahead and move the x over as well. So in the warm-up where I move that 10 over, I'm just gonna subtract this over also. That way these go away, and I'm gonna get 0 x squared minus 15x plus 50. If you get a quadratic, which is this, you have to factor it to solve it.
That's the answer.
No, did I factor it? No. Yes, because you're trying to get to what x equals. X equals this, whatever. So what multiplies to give me 50, adds to give me negative 15. Negative 10, negative 5. Double check. Negative 10 plus negative 5 is negative 15, and if I multiply them, I get positive 50.
Wait, say that again. How do you check it?
So to check it, you can either FOIL it all out or do this. I just check that these two add to give me negative 15, and these two multiply to give me positive 15.
So when we factor it all and stuff, it's the same kind of.
So what does x equal? 10 and
X
equals 5. That means I have to check both answers. Usually only one of them works. So I'm going to box both for now, and then we'll check both. So if I check 10, square root 10 minus 1, does that equal 10 minus 7? Yes, it does. This one, so I put, so I put 10 here. 10 minus 1 is 9, square root 9 is 30. And then I also put here 10 minus 7 is 3. So that one's right. This one, though, doesn't work because that's going to be 4 is square root of 2 does not equal negative 2.
So the answer is x equals 10?
Yes. Yes. So what I'm doing is the step I'm skipping is this: x minus 10 equals 0. X minus 5 equals 0. So here I'm adding 10 over. Here I'm adding 5. Questions on number 6? Okay, next one. Can I go to number 7?
Yeah.
Okay, number 7. Yes, we can go. Okay. Okay, so this is our first one where we have 2 radicals, one on each side, and this is key. You want to make sure if you do have 2 radicals that there's one on each side. So really, I can't isolate this one, and this one's already by itself. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that cube root. How do I get rid of a cube root? You cube it. So I'm going to cube this whole thing, and then cube this whole thing. Okay, be really careful and go slow here. Look, I'm going to cube the 3 as well as this. So what's 3 to the 3rd? 27. And then this cancels out. So I just get, oh, I didn't mean to write that. I meant to write 27x. Sorry.
So the 3 side.
Yes, so it goes to the number, and then it also goes to this. I'll put it under here. 3 to the 3rd, and then cube root x to the 3rd as well. So 27x. And then what do you get on the right side? the only ones that you factor on are the ones that you get x squared. Divide by 26. What did we get? -3?
Yeah.
Let's check that. So 3 cube root of -3, does that equal -3 minus 78?
That's terrible.
What's the cube? Okay, look. When there's a cube, some of you missed this on your quiz. When there's a negative under a cube root, I can't do anything with the 3, but this is like a -1. It can come out. So I have -3 cube root of 3. What is that? -81?
Yeah.
Can I take the cube root of 81?
Yep.
No, but I can split it up. So that's horrible. -27 and 3. This is what we did on the quiz yesterday. What's the cube root of -27? -3 cube root of 3. So it does work, it's just not very pretty when you check it. Doing okay? Can I move on? Making sure no one's writing. Okay, number 8. We're getting close, guys, I promise. There's just multiple different types of examples. A3. Sorry, it's on the spot here. Okay, if you have 2 radicals, like the one we just did, already had radical on both sides. I've got 2 here, so I need to move one of them over. If there's 2 radicals, you need one on each side. Because if you try to square that, oh, that is ugly. So it's easier if you move one over. So I'm going to move the smaller one over. Yeah, you can move either radical over. It's just the whole thing moves. I'm moving over. I moved over the square root x. So now I'm here. You could move over the square root x plus 12. That's fine too. Okay, so is everyone here? Are we okay? So I'm going to get rid of the radical. I'm going to square the left. And I'm going to square the right. So on the left, what do I get? X plus 12. On the right, do your shortcut. Square the first, 36. Put the 2 together and double it. So it's going to become -12 square root x. Make sure you see that. I squared the first. I put the 2 together. And I doubled it, and then I square the second plus, what's the square root of x squared? Just x. So it looks kind of ugly. Let's simplify this a little bit. If I subtract this x over here, what's going to happen? It's going to cancel out, so I'm just going to cross it out. Let me say that again. If there's an x on this side and x on this side, if you subtract this one over or this one over, they're going to cancel. So I'm going to move my number over, 36. I'm going to move over here. So what is that? -24 equals -12 square root x. Did I lose anyone on a step somewhere? Is everyone okay? So I did a shortcut here to get this. These x's canceled. Move the number over. What would you do now here? You could square it, but I don't know the square of 24, so I'm going to make it a little easier on myself and divide by this -12. I'm isolating this radical. You can square it, but you're just going to have to make sure you square 24 also. Now I have smaller numbers. 2 equals square root of x. Now square 4 equals x. I don't like that. I like x equals 4. Okay, wait. And then check it. So 4 plus 12 plus 4 equals 6. So that's 16, which is 4 plus 2 equals 6. So it works. Let's do one more. Right here? Are you here checking it? Square root of 16 is 4, plus square root of 4 is 2. Okay, last one. Yeah, we'll do this last one. Okay, so we have a radical on both sides, and I can't really isolate this one. We would just do the same thing. So what would you do here? Square both sides. So I'm going to square the left. I'm going to square the right. So on the left, I get x minus 8. On the right, do your shortcut. Bless you. Square the first. 1 squared is just 1. Put the 2 together and double it. So minus 2 square root x plus 3. And then square the second. So when I do the shortcut, I square the first, and then I put these 2 together and I double it. So basically I did that times 2. What happens when I square this second part? X plus 3. The square root goes away. Again, guys, if you're having trouble doing what I'm doing, then just write it out twice and FOIL, or multiply it out, whatever word you use. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. I have an x on each side. I'm going to go ahead and cross that out and make my life easier. So now I have negative 8 equals. I'm going to combine this 1 and 3. So 4 minus 2 square root x plus 3.
Why isn't it
Like right here. Because I'm squaring a negative, so a negative times a negative is positive. So subtract 4 over. Negative 12 equals negative 2x plus 3. Again, you can go ahead and square here if you want. I'm going to get rid of that negative 2 first to give myself smaller numbers. So 6 equals square root x plus 3. And then go ahead and square both sides. So 36 equals x plus 3. So I got x equals 33. Okay, so if we plug that back in to check it, if I have room, it will be square root 33 minus 8 equals 1 minus 33 plus 3. Oh, what's 33 minus 8? 25? And that becomes 36. Does that work? No. You need to simplify it. This is going to be 5 equals negative 5. No, right? So this one's no solution. So I just put an x here and I say no solution. Okay. Sorry, this is gonna fall off. The worksheet you have in front of you is for a grade tomorrow.